Hey, Clyde Hays, Hayes Division. Yeah, it's been a little while since I've been on here. A lot going on. Last 24 days, actually. I'm not sure. I posted my last and first podcast on January the 8th, and a lot has happened since then. A lot has happened in the tech world. A lot has happened in my little sphere of innovation and design and what we're doing here at Hayes Division. Uh, Thought long and hard about what I was going to do for a podcast because I kind of refused to give up on the podcast ideal. And as we move through, going to give y'all little highlights on what I have going on and what I've had going on. I've added a new camera. If you can't see, I just swapped. I realized that camera now is tracking a wide angle lens, which is cool. Um, didn't know it was going to go that far that fast, but it makes pretty cool video. This is normally what you see. You got my table, and of course we're zooming in. We're zooming in on my bar, so I'm not sure what's going on there. So let's go ahead and just kill that camera real quick because this is a camera that we're going to focus on now because you got a little clearer. That was cool. It was cool to show you a little bit about technology and what we have going on here. We've added two monitors, which I have on my right and my left since we started the podcast. It gives me a little bit more control, a little bit more function. We still have dual mics. From speaking with you from the main mic, I don't know if you can hear a little metallic on the background. You shouldn't be able to because I checked and see if it was picking up on the mic a minute ago. Mainly right now, we're going to go back and forth between this camera and the main screen, the video capture device, and I'm using a really cool system so far that works. But to tell y'all what's been going on, so on the I think it wasn't the 8th. I'm not sure what date it was. When the whole uh, incident happened with Trump and the things that was going on with the nation and the big tech giants, basically blocking a number of people and a number of businesses and stuff like that, I was very concerned. And I was concerned because I'm one of those technology people that thinks that technology is free and open and everything. And the moves that technology did, and right now as I'm doing this show, I'm thinking I should have prepped a little bit more video and stuff that I wanted to show you about the things I'm going to talk about tonight. But I'll give y'all some links in the bottom of this, or hit me up and I'll tell you some of the links that I'm talking about if you need actual links to go with them. This is not a tell-it-all type deal because that was something that I found out about what was going on that kind of bothered me. There was a lot of people that felt like they had the inside of what was going on, and I'm telling you, I don't have the inside of what's going on with anything but my mind, and I do have the inside of what's going on now. A lot of times it's for me. I don't claim to be a full-fledged scientist. I'm not. I am I do hold 2 degrees. I work in basically a science background, which is electronics. I don't claim to be of those high-ranking people, and I have no knowledge outside of my brain. And I don't try to give you knowledge outside of what Hayes Division is doing and what we think and present ideals that we're following in technology, and specifically in nanotechnology and artificial intelligence technologies, and the different technologies going on with that, and basically what I think about things. That's what the Hayes Division podcast is. It's a place for us to hopefully talk about more about technology. And as the things were going on in the beginning of January with the United States of America, which I am a part of, I feel like I'm a proud American. Um, I was concerned. I was very concerned, after watching what was going on and watching some of the tech giants' responses, like Dorsey, they were concerned as well. And I will not make any excuses for them at all because I disagree with what they did. So let's get that out in the open right now. I I understand their stance. I did not in the beginning understand why they did what they did by uh, blocking the president of the United States, Donald Trump, and blocking numerous conservative people and conservative social media platforms. I guess you could. I don't think Pollard would consider herself a social media platform, but I mean a conservative social media platform, but blocking them. And I did some research and I found out why. Uh, Specifically Dorsey. Dorsey got on Twitter, or somebody put a video up of Dorsey saying why he did, what he did. And he mentioned two things. One, we have to stop the president from getting what he was saying out there. And two, we have to stop a group called QAnon. I had no idea about a group called QAnon. I think the first time I've ever heard of QAnon was on the Joe Rogan show, and I do not remember what context it was. I want to say it was in the context of who are these people, what are they doing? I'm not sure what Joe at that time, his context was for QAnon, but that was the first time I heard about it. I didn't pay attention to it. After the shutdown by the tech giants of certain individuals and groups and peoples and everything else, I needed to know what was going on, because my stance at that point in time was I did not feel like a company, a technology company, had the right to shut down anyone using their platform. If you do not like what someone's saying, you block them or remove them. Through all of this, there's been numerous people that has says things that I don't like and I don't agree with, but it's different opinions and different views. That's the whole. For example, I personally have seen some posts of the flat earthers. I think that is so outlandish, but it doesn't bother me, though their opinions I do not agree with, but it's, to me, it's more humorful in a way. I do understand in Pacific, excuse me, I do understand in consideration of what was going on with the so-called QAnon people, about how they were led to believe certain things were happening, and Donald Trump was, in a way, feeding into it. I did see a video of Donald Trump when asked about the QAnon people during the election. He just like, well, they like me. Okay, that video kind of really upset me, because just because somebody likes you, either in politics, especially someone like Donald Trump, needs to say, okay, I don't know these people, or I don't agree with these people, not I want these people's vote. Donald, if you fought for what you said you fought for, then you need to stand up and say sometimes, look, I don't agree with these people. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of people out there I don't agree with. And then I don't, that does not represent, there's two people in this world that represent me. That would be my wife and my family. That's it. And of course, my family's quite a bit, but they represent me. And the reason they represent me is because I have their back and they have mine. I get we're talking about a political spectrum, a lot of other people and things in that spectrum. But through all this, I got upset because I'm the technologist sitting over here waiting for Elon Musk to come out with Neuralace and go ahead, big, pretty, gorgeous dome, drill a hole, connect me to the computers. That's me. I want to be involved in that. But when I seen Facebook, Twitter, Amazon, and then flip a switch and say, hey, look, you no longer have an option to express your opinions and views, all tracks stop. I mean, I'm telling you, I was seconds away, long, heartfelt discussions about whether I pull the plug here at Hayes Division, because that's something that no one should have the option. If we're going to a technological singularity, what kind of control do we have when it comes to not you turning off an account on YouTube and Twitter and Facebook to you turning off a brain? Is that an option? It frightened me. Not I get, and all of my liberal friends that cannot stand Trump and everything that I get that. And I think Dorsey gets it. I think the founder of Jack Dorsey, the founder of Twitter, he gets what he did, because I actually heard him say, I know I made a mistake. You didn't make a mistake. You made a decision that scared everyone, specifically me as a technologist. You scared me with giving you access to myself. Drinking Bloody Marys today. You scared me because this guy, Clyde Hays, was willing to put you in my life. I have in my house, I have Google Assistants everywhere. I have an Alexa Assistant in my boys' room. I have electric lights. I have computers everywhere. I have microphones everywhere. I have a camera that just records all the time for Just nothing. I have cameras all on the outside of my house. I have cameras all on the inside of my house so we can engage and see and talk and do things. And I know Google listens to me. I want Google's AI to listen to me and learn better. But the point that you can take that technology and because you don't like what I say, you can turn it off. I get that you can say that they were starting an insurrection. I get all these things. That is the police's job. That is not a company or an individual, especially a tech giant's job, to say you cannot think the way you think and express them in the open. If they were saying things that led to insurrection, if they were saying things that led to violence, and I'll tell you, I'm a violent person. But if I tell you I'm going to do something violent to you, you have the right to go to the cops and file a complaint against me. And that's what should have happened. And I'm fine with it. If I get on any social media platform and I bodily threaten someone, please call the cops and please have the cops come arrest me, fine me, whatever needs to be done. Because that is the job of the police. That is not the job of social media giants or tech giants. I really feel bad about it. Now, me being the person I was, Facebook was where I did a lot of my interacting. And if you see this right here, my account has been deactivated or disabled. I'm sorry. Uh, whether that I actually 100% do not know why my Facebook account was disabled. And I'm going to be honest with you, outside of just detesting Mark Zuckerberg, I do not have a problem with Mark Zuckerberg disabling my account or Mark Zuckerberg's administration, personnel, company, whatever disabling me. I was on a ba- I was on the fence on whether I disabled myself or not. The reason I was is because I have family. I interact quite a bit on Facebook with family members, and the cool thing was Facebook made that decision for me, and I will never be back on Facebook as long as Mark Zuckerberg has anything to do with it because I have read Mark Zuckerberg's comments on numerous things that I disagree with. And I do not believe he should have control of a social media platform that interacts with so many people's social interactions with their families. I will not be back. I did delete my Twitter. I am no longer on Twitter at this time. I think I will be back on Twitter. It is my plan to be back on Twitter. Um, so far, I've not, and I'm kind of doing a cleanse of social media at the moment. I'm still keeping on technology. There's a lot of things going on with technology right now, but right now I'm doing a cleanse. I am staying off of all social media. The only social media, in a way, you'll find me on is the podcast, and we did some really cool things on a podcast lately. It's working great for us. But I did again. I don't know why I got banned or excuse me, disabled. I did hit this button here that says Help Center, and I'll hit it again and show you where it sends us. It sends us here. And there is not a place for me to figure out why I did not receive an email. I checked my emails. I did go through a couple things and found a way to get onto Facebook and or excuse me, not get on Facebook, found a way to get on there and request reactivation. One of them was I had to send them a copy of my ID to verify, I think, verify that it was me. I did verify that, and basically they responded, no, you're disabled. Besides, and I did make some statements, non-threatening, to Facebook, not to Facebook about their ability to do the things they did. And in that sense, one of the things I did was I went through and I blocked a bunch of their ads. And I think maybe that I was trying to hit them. Excuse me. I was trying to hit them in the pocketbook. And I think that might have been what got me banned. I want to say it was that what got me banned, not my opinions and my views on what Facebook was doing. But because of it, at the timing and the situation, I will not be back on Facebook in any form or whatever. I do host quite a few pages on Facebook. How it stands right now, my wonderful vice president of Hays Division is submitting to get access to those pages at this time. and we're hoping that she gets access and are able to control those pages. If not, you won't see us on Facebook. I believe Elon Musk at one point found out that there was some pages built for Tesla or SpaceX on Facebook, and he's like, I don't think we're on Facebook, but if we are, we're off. And I'm sort of like that now. We have a website, we got a podcast, we're on YouTube, and I don't want to get into Google right now because I am a Google fan. I've been a Google fan for years, even though I have all the Apple devices except for a Mac, and I got one sitting over there on the workbench that I'm playing with. But I'm not a Mac person. I am a PC person because I can play with them a lot more than I can that Mac over there because I'm having little problems with that Mac. But I'm staying away. I am staying away as much as I can from social media. Uh, Glad in a way Google doesn't have Google Plus anymore because that would be a question for me whether I stayed on it or not. Let me skip a couple of music. I want to listen to a little something more because I don't think you can hear my music. I'm hoping you can. The dead air is killing me. Sometimes when I have a drink, I have dead air. I need to get a co-host sometimes to just have someone else to talk when I drink wonderful Bloody Marys. I'll tell you about my Bloody Marys later. I found a wonderful mixture and it's delicious. Um, so I'm off social media. That's why it's took me a while to do this podcast now because, for one, I haven't had access to social media, so I don't have a drive to jump on and do just like a hey, I'm on my days off. What are y'all up to? Which I got a bunch of that on my days off. Like day 3, everybody was like, Clyde, where are you at? What are you doing? I don't have Facebook no more, so I'm not doing just Facebook live feeds, but which is good. So I'm on a pre-recorded. So this is not live right now. I thought about putting it on YouTube, but it's pre-recorded. It's not live. This is me. I can edit it. If I decided I said something I don't want, if I wanted to stream it up, speed it down, whatever, I have that option. Let me hit this right quick. So off all social media. So the only place you're going to hear my voice now is right here on Hayes Division Podcast, and we are on Spotify. We're on a lot of the other platforms, but mainly we're on Spotify. You can go if you want. You can go to our website, and under Hayes Division, there is a live button, and that button you will have a link to the Spotify podcast and the YouTube video. So you can go check us out there. So when all this happened with technology, I did what I normally do. In that situation, I have a moment where I try to figure out what is going on. What am I going to do about the situation? Because I don't know. Our motto for Hayes Division is imagine the future, innovate today. And that's what I do. I try to imagine what's going to happen, what's coming, what's interacting. And through that, I try to figure out how to innovate for it. I had a loss of faith. When the tech giants did what they did, I didn't know what to do. I'm a big proponent of artificial intelligence. I believe we're going to become extra humans, transhumanists. There's all kinds of lingo out there for what we become once we incorporate technology into our brains and arise above this meat sack type person that we are now, or we incorporate it within ourselves. And I'm all for that. And I did a lot of thinking on that this days off because I had to figure out where we were going with this Hayes Division, where we were going with technology, because that's what Hayes Division is all about. We're trying to figure out how to incorporate technology in our day-to-day lives and progression of where we go as a people. And me having 7 boys, I'm trying to figure out where I'm steering these boys at. So I did some research, and I don't know if y'all have ever heard of this man. His name is Tim Berners-Lee's, and this is his website himself, and you can find it at w3.org. Tim Berners-Lee's is considered the inventor of the www, World Wide Web in 1989. He's well known. He, from all the articles I read, he is not happy where we are right now. He is part of the Decentralized Information Group, and they started a group called Solid. Okay, Solid and its spin-off company called Interrupt is, to give you a real quick rundown, and please y'all go research all this. Solid, the company, it has built a system where basically you take who you are and you put it on the web. And through Solid, these other companies like Facebook and Twitter and Google and everybody interacts with your own box, your own cube of information, and through them they get the references back and forth to interact with you. And my first, after, and of course it's 10 days ago, my first interaction with this after I did all my research and everything was I posted to where I always like to post where all the real nerds are, Reddit. And it says, is Solid the key to wrestling control from the big tech companies? And here I was just learning and I was asking, is it the key to our future of our data? Watching the big tech companies control content, run experiments with information. If we begin to use devices like Neuralink, the ability of big tech companies to control my content when my wetware connects to computers concerns me. And I had 10 upvotes and comments. Pretty cool. But I did some more research. And one of the things that Tim said was people are fed up with the lack of control. He turned around and says this new updated web that he's imagining to come out will enable the kind of person-to-person sharing and collaboration that it's helped make the big social media services so successful while leaving the users in control. Right now, we do not have control. That is what they showed. They played and they laid all their cards on the table. They showed you they have control. Yes, it might have been against the people that were okay with them showing that, but they showed it. Right now, Google is doing experiments in Australia, I believe, with what they show and what they do not show to the Australian people. I'm concerned with that. I'm concerned that is something that you allow to happen. I can tell you if I was running Google and someone says, hey, look, we have all this information on people that we use to sell ads to make our ads better, which is why we say, it's okay, Google, use my information. Give me a cheaper, faster ability to order and buy the things that I really want to buy. But that's not what happens. These big social media and tech giants have this ability, and then in comes the psychologists and the social engineers, and they say, hey, look, we have all this information. Let's see if we say this or do this or present this. How do people react? It's a social experiments. We know Facebook does them. They've clearly, repeatedly done it and told us about it. That no one is concerned, that I was not concerned up until now, is our fault. And I'm not asking you to get upset and storm the walls or something. That we are not engaged with this and saying, hey, Tim Bernard-Lee, what do we need to do to help you? Why are we not all on Solid? I'm on Solid now. I mean, Solid is not enveloped within the technology that I use, but I want it to be. And I want to speak out for Solid. I want to speak out for someone, Sir Tim Bernard-Lee, and say, hey, look, someone, get out there and fix our system. Our system needs to be fixed. This is wrong. This is wrong in I don't care what country. This is not wrong for the CIA. This is not wrong for the NSA. These are things that I expect them to do. And I don't criticize them for that. They are spycraft networks that their job is to protect and take the United States ideals into consideration. They should do experiments like this. My social media platforms, my email system, like Google, my web hosting service like AWS, should not do experiments with my data or me, an American, or any other country or any other people. The NSA should. If the NSA owns these companies, then we need to do something else. That's not right. I will agree that's not right. To bring it all home, I needed to get this off my chest. I don't know how many of you tech guys out there, people that follow me, veterans, because I have a lot of veteran friends, veterans, um, Americans, world people from all over the world. I mean, a lot of people watch this. It's not even an American because they're trying to figure out what's going on with technology. Everyone out there, are you concerned that the tech giants have the control they have over your data? And what is our solution? I think something like Solid is a solution. I'm not saying it is. It's not predominant yet. Why it's not, I don't know. We need to wrestle the control of our information away from tech giants that at a moment that I say something they don't like, they have the ability to turn me off. I promise you, I will say something a lot of people don't like. I am not a likable character. I'm liked by my group of people. I'm liked by the people that I say something nice about right now. That's reality. We all don't have the same thoughts and feelings and judgments and everything else. I am for a lot of things that a lot of other people are for. I am for the progression of technology. I am for the equality of people. I am for the ability of capitalism in numerous ways. I do not feel like this is the ability of capitalism. I think this is a product of capitalism, and it's a product of capitalism we need to take into consideration and figure out how to fix. I am not calling for the down throw of Google. I am not calling for the down throw of Twitter. I'm not calling for the down throw of AWS, Amazon. No. In a way, I'm not even calling for the down throw of Facebook. I will not be back on Facebook. I am at the point where Facebook was so good that someone has the ability to do what they did and not take their users into consideration is a limit that I'm not willing to give them. They have some good services. And yes, I did check out a bunch of social media platforms after that. In a way, some of them were straight knockoffs of Facebook. I'm not, I will not, I will get back on Twitter. I'm telling you, I will eventually get back on Twitter when I get done with my sabbatical and feel like that I don't need to be engaged with people like that. I will get myself back on. I was barely on Twitter to begin with. I was on Facebook a lot. I used their marketplace. I use their messenger app. Use their messenger app quite a lot. Talk to a lot of people through it. Signal has replaced that in a lot, and I heard a lot of people using Signal now, which should tell Facebook a lot because you're not the top of the game, and this is not a ridicule of Facebook. It's a ridicule of Facebook's steps in life. You had a lot of control that you should have taken into consideration, and I'm sure me sitting over here looking at this, I'm sure there's more users out there that think that Facebook, you should have done something about all these conservatives beforehand. And maybe you have more people that believe that way. And if that is how social media goes, I really don't need social media because you should not abuse your powers. And I'm sitting over here talking about building AIs. And I read all the ethical AI situations and issues, and I don't know where we're going. I write articles thinking if we build a super intelligent AI, they will go to space and try to help humanity and not do what everybody's written about AI and say that they're going to take over the world. I take a stance of freedom. Everyone has a right to talk. No one has the right to threaten someone and not feel repercussions. I do not threaten people directly. Don't get me wrong. We all hug our wife and say, Somebody needs to kick that dude's ass. Right. Or I'd kick that dude's ass. Right. That if I said that to your face, you would have a right by our legal system to file a charge on me. And I'm going to be honest with you. If I get on social media and say that about anyone, you should file a charge on me. That is the job of the cops. And as a social media platform, you should take what I say on your platform and give it to the cops. You should not, at that point, decide, he does not need to be on this social media platform anymore. I don't care who they are. This could be Stalin himself, Adolf Hitler, Mao. I don't care. Any of the worst people you can think of in history should have the ability to express themselves. If they step out of line, it would be your job to report them to the police. I get in certain countries you can't do that, but I don't see you pulling Kim Jong-il or other third world murderers off. And this is not a back and forth thing. It's to me, you do not take anyone off and not stop their speech. And that's what you did. And I detest that. I will not be back on Facebook. I have regained my bearings. I have regained my ability to do technology. And I will create great things. And Hays Division is jumping into that. And we're looking for exciting things. We're looking for great things. So stay tuned. This is basically getting everything off my chest and letting it all out there, and ability to turn around and start talking about the things that we're interested in. And there's been a lot going on this last month. And so stay tuned. Episode 2. And episode 2 is already a big thing. So Clyde Hays looking at y'all. Thank y'all for watching. Subscribe. Let us know what you're thinking. You cannot find us on Facebook, but we are on everything else. Check us out at HaysDivision.com. Clyde Hays looking at y'all.